In my eyes, indisposed, in disguise that no one knows, hide the face lies a snake, the son of my disgrace, boiling heat, summer stench, neath the black the sky looks dead, call my name through the cream, I hear you scream again, black hole sun, won't you come and wash away the rain, black hole sun, won't you come, won't you come. Hey, how you doing? Justin here. Today we are checking out Black Hole Sun by Soundgarden. Fantastic tune, this one. I really love it. And it's really good fun one to play. I'm going to show you kind of the main acoustic guitar part I was just playing then, which is really similar to the way that Chris Cornell plays it when he does the kind of acoustic thing. But I'm also going to show you the actual part that was on the record, which is further up the neck. I know a lot of you guys are going to be asking about the sound straight away, so I'm just using this 335, but I'm not really sure what was played on the original recording. I'm going into an Analog Man King of Tone for some distortion. Then I'm going into an Analog Man bi-chorus. Now, the chorus effect is what I'm using, but I'm pretty sure the original was a Leslie speaker cabinet, but you can kind of get that with a chorus pedal. I've got the speed turned most of the way up and the depth on about half, but you'll have to experiment with your own chorus unit to try and find that. And I've also added a little bit of analog delay, courtesy of a Strymon El Capistan delay pedal. Reasonable mix. It doesn't have a delay time on it, so I can't tell you the time, but I've just got a few repeats, not a heavy delay, and it's quite low in the mix. So let's go to a close-up and check out how to play it. So the first thing I need to mention for this tune is it's in drop D tuning, so we've tuned the thickest string down to the note D. You want to use the open D string there as your guide. Make those two notes the same. So the very first chord we've got, it's actually a G sus chord, but it doesn't really matter in this kind of context, especially in a funny tuning. And we're just using a first finger bar at the 5th fret. And we're going to play 6th string, 5th string, 4th string, 3rd string, and then back down, 4th string, 5th string, 6th string. With this rhythm, 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and. Okay, that pattern again. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and. Okay, the next chord, we put the little finger down on the 8th fret. We leave that bar down, leave the first finger bar down, put little finger down on the 8th fret, and we just play up this time. 6th string, 5th string, 4th string, 3rd string. So 1 and 2 and 3, 4. Those two bars together. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3, 4. Now we move the bar down 2 frets, put our little finger down on the 5th fret of the 3rd string, and this time we've got 6th string, 5th string, 4th string, 3rd string, back down again, 4th string, 5th string, but then we play the open, what's now the D string, but the open thicker string as a transition to the next chord. So 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and. We move that shape down 1 fret and play up. 1 and 2 and 3, 4 and there's another open D string or open thicker string there on the and after 4. So let's look at those 4 bars now. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3, 4. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3, 4 and. Our last two chords, we've got here an E flat sus4, which is just a straight bar at the first fret with the first finger. Same finger picking pattern as the first bar. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and. And lastly, a D7, no third, 1 and 2 and, which is open E, open thicker string, third fret, open D string, and first finger in the second fret of the third string. We just play up that 1 and 2 and 3, 4. Okay, let's run through that whole intro sequence now. So 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3, 4. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3, 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3, 4. Okay, so that's the whole sequence there for the intro. The verse starts exactly the same as that intro section, but it adds a little bit on at the end. So the little bit that's added on, we're going to use the second, third, and fourth fingers on the thickest three strings at the 5th fret. We play 6, 5, 4, 6. Then we lift off second finger, put first finger down in the 3rd fret of the thickest string, play the same pattern, 6, 5, 4, 6. That's the string numbers, by the way. And then move it up to a little bar at the 6th fret and play up the 6th string, 5th string, 4th string. So that little bit on the end. Okay, let's run through that whole verse then. So, in my eyes, indisposed, in disguise that no one knows, hides the face, lies the snake, the sun in my disgrace. Okay, that's all repeated for verse 2, and then we're into the chorus. The chorus starts with a first finger bar at the 1st fret, and we're going to play 6 string, 5, 4, 3, 4, 5, 6. That same rhythm pattern we used earlier. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and. Now we go to the D7, no third. So second finger down, 3rd fret of the 5th string, first finger down, 2nd fret of the 3rd string. And we're going to play 6 string, 5 string, 4, 3, 4, 5, and then finish with an open G string. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and. Again, 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and. So just lifting off that first finger for the last note for the open G. Then we go to the little G5 thing that we used in the verses as well. But this time we go to a B flat bar chord. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and. That's 5th string, 4th, 3rd, 2nd, 3rd, 4th, 5th. Okay, let's get through that part. So E flat sus, D7, G, G with an F bass, B flat. Back to E flat sus, back to D7 no third, and now we go C chord, little bar chord, regular kind of C bar chord, 3, 5, 5, 5. Okay, and here we've got a little finger doing a hammer on the sus4. Okay, so just hammering little finger down on the 6th fret of the 2nd string, and then doing a flick off as well. And then pluck the 3rd string and the 4th string. So C, and then to a D chord. Okay, so just C, regular bar chord, D, On the D chord, if you want, you can have that open E, the open, what was the E strings, now the open D, the open thicker string. Let's run that whole chorus now. The lead guitar in the verse is really, really cool, so let's check that out now. We're starting with the third finger doing a bar on the thinnest 3 strings, and we're going to play third string, second string, first string, second, third, second. With this rhythm, 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and. Again, 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and. Now we change to a little B flat 6, so we just put the third finger onto its tip, second finger going down in the 11th fret of the second string, first finger going down in the 10th fret of the first string, and the rhythm for this, we're just playing straight up the third string, second string, first string, and it's 1 and 2 and 3, 4, 1 and 2 and 3, 4. Those 2 bars together, 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3, 4. Now we move the first finger to the 10th fret of the third string, little finger does a bar on the 13th fret covering the thinnest 2 strings, and we go 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and. So that same rhythm as we had in the first bar, 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and. And then the next bar, we start with the first finger at the 10th fret, slide it up to the 12th, and then play the second string and then the third string. 1 and 2 and 3, 4, 1 and 2 and 3, 4. Let's stick all 4 of those bars together now. So we got 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3, 4. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3, 4. Okay, the next bar is kind of interesting. There's a few different ways of fingering it. The way that I've found to be best for me is using my third finger on the 12th fret of the third string and using a little bar with my second finger to cover the thinnest 2 strings at the 11th fret. You'll see why in a second. This pattern again, 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and. Same pattern we've been using a bit in this little riff so far. We're playing the third string, second, first string, second, third, second, 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and. And now all we do is we lift off the second finger, put the first finger down, barring the 10th fret, and we have the same pattern. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and. So from this, 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and. Okay, so you could choose to do it that way to that and change fingers if you want, but I think it's nicer to, or easier for me to do that second finger thing there. So the last little bit, back to the third finger barring the thinnest 3 strings, and we play third, second, first, third. Then we do a little bar at the 10th fret, third finger goes down on the 12th fret of the second string, same pattern, third, second, first, third. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and. And we finish off with a little A flat 13 triad. 13, 13, 11. Okay, let's run through from the E flat bit, this bit where we use the second finger bar. Be 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2, 3, 4. Let's look at the whole thing through now, nice and slow. So 3, 4, 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3, 4, 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3, 4, 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2, 3, 4, 1. While we're in the close-up too, let's have a look at that instrumental riff as well, because that's super cool. It's also a little bit weird in that it's in 9/4, so there are 9 beats in the bar. Let me take you through the notes first and then we'll look at the count. So we go starting off with the 3rd fret of the 5th string, then 2nd fret of the 5th string, then open 5th string, then a little slide up to the 3rd fret, still on the 5th string, and then 5th, 4th, 3rd, on the thickest string, and then you want to put that down as a bar, put your 2nd finger down in the 4th string, and you end up with this chord 3rd, 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 4th, 3rd, 3rd, which is kind of a G with an F bass, but you know, it's just a sound, and there's lots of different guitars doing different parts, so this is kind of a simplification of what's going on with the harmony, but the riff here. Let's look at the count. So we got 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 5 and 6, 7, 8, 9. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 5 and 6, 7, 8, 9. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 5 and 6, 7, 8, 9. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 5 and 6 and 7, 8, 9. So there you have most of the parts for this tune, but remember there's quite a few guitar layers in it, so you know, if you're playing it in a band you want to kind of divvy the parts up a little bit and have some guys playing like a heavier sound, a little bit simpler, while other people play the riff, that kind of thing. Have a listen to it, I'm sure you'll get that sussed out now that I've given you the bones. The one thing just to mention in the chorus, where it usually I've said it goes from C with a little sus4 twiddle and then up to D. When the chorus is repeating itself, it does C with a little sus thing and then it goes down to B flat as a way of kind of moving it back into the chorus again. I'm sure you'll hear that if you listen to it and you know the B flat chord, we talked about it. So it's a really fun tune to play, this one, really is. A lot of kind of interesting things. I've been playing it fingerstyle, but it could well be on the record that it's played with a pick. It's a perfectly pickable kind of a tune. So I just find it easier to pick it, finger pick it rather, you know, than using a pick, especially when I'm singing. It just makes finding the right strings a little bit easier. Well, you might find that too, but have a go with a pick if you want. Have fun with it, and I'll see you for plenty more lessons very soon. You take care of yourselves. Bye bye.